Okay, so here we are in the game. I'm going to do this with my window open. I have my overhead light off because it reflects really bad. But, I don't want to do this in a dark room because I want to be more realistic. Oh, okay. Unfollow. Okay, so there you go. I'm in the game. I don't know what my settings are at here. Can I open a door? But the ergonomics are actually quite nice for the tablet itself. It's kind of a perfect size. I mean, I guess you'd probably play this game with a controller, a USB or a Bluetooth controller. But the buttons are big enough and the tablet is large enough that like this is actually not bad. Okay, so the graphics right now are set to, I guess, smooth. Let's change it to balanced and see if that makes a difference. I don't know what this is going to matter. Okay. So that's balanced, and it's still not laggy. There's a tiny, very fraction of a second every now and then of load-in. I'm assuming that's a load-in, loading assets, and that could be more of an that could be standard to the game with internet, or it could be I don't know, the tablet itself. I have no idea. Okay, so let's put the settings a little bit higher. HD. Let's do HD. Oh, okay. So this option will be available on your device soon. So I don't know if that's a game thing or if that's... I have no clue. But yeah, apparently it works on balance with medium. PSP runs fine. This is primarily what I use Android tablets for, is emulation. This is why I've kind of gotten away from it a bit, because I have dedicated handhelds that I've been playing emulation with. But I can see huge value in this tablet for emulation. PSP runs fine. So basically, that era or below, you're going to have access to all those games. So you can hear a little bit of like scratchy. It does get quite loud, the tablet, by the way. It just doesn't have and it doesn't have any bass whatsoever, but it does get loud. So, the game runs fine. There's a little bit of that weird sound issue in this game, but it actually is running fine. I mean, I've played this game countless times in the past. The frame rate is totally normal. There's no drop in frames here. So, it can definitely handle the integrated graphics, and the processor can definitely handle, even challenging PSP games without issue. DS works amazing. It's not as demanding as a PSP anyways, but the emulation is excellent. Sound is excellent. The Drastic emulator. It's a paid emulator, but I think it was $1. I bought this years ago. Now I just play DS on my 3DS, but I mean, this is such an excellent way. In some ways, it's even better than using like a 3DS because this is a huge screen right here. So you're getting a really big screen, and there's no division between the top and bottom screen. There's just like a line there. So it's actually quite beautiful to play on an Android device, especially something of this size, versus even the actual authentic device, because there's a big bezel there. So it runs actually flawlessly. Look at that. Sound amazing. This is a really good... I mean, some of that is to do with the emulator itself. It's a really, really good emulator. Okay, so here we finally are in the game. To my eyes and to the camera, it is absolutely perfect. It looks beautiful. The colors are super rich on this tablet because it has such an amazing screen, obviously. But yeah, the emulation is perfect. Sound is perfect. There's no kind of dropout. Mario 64 isn't the most challenging game anyways to emulate. I did a little bit of a video recently on the PS Vita, and it's one of the games that actually runs the best on there. You're not going to be able to play, PS3 games and stuff on here, and I don't think we would run that well. But, N64 era, why not? So you can see here, it's probably hard to always tell on camera, but there's no frame rate drop. The analog stick is just awful in this mode. So again, you probably want, if you're playing like RPGs, you could definitely use the touchscreen. if you're playing games like this, like more arcadey games, you'd probably want to get you'd probably want to get a Bluetooth controller to really play them. Here we are in some Sega Saturn, which from what I understand, is more challenging to emulate than PS1. And we'll do some Panzer Dragoon. Again, you're better off getting you can play like this, but you're better off getting a Bluetooth controller, in my opinion. And like I said, with the Alexa dock, it's kind of ideal. I've actually never played Panzer Dragoon before. Ooh. But yeah, you can see here, I don't know if you've ever played this game before, but from what I've seen, this emulation seems to be perfect. I apparently suck at this game. I'm doing it inverted. Yeah, it's still inverted. Okay, it's weird though. Yeah, so the emulation is perfect. Processor is able to keep up, graphics, whatever, no problems. So, Sega Saturn works fine. So, I've played this game dozens of times in the past, and being stuck to watch the intro every time I start it new is just painful. Absolutely painful. Any developer in the future who sets up non-skippable intros needs to just look in the mirror and feel shame. Okay, so here we go. Back in the game. And you can see it's pretty bad. Again, this is GameCube, so this is, on GameCube and PS2 are generally on par. I think that GameCube is actually a little bit more powerful, but and this is kind of to be expected. It's just not a super powerful processor, and GameCube is not the easiest thing to emulate on a tablet. If you have a desktop, it's going to be easier. So this could be a relic of the actual game itself. It could be a relic of the emulator itself, or it could be an outcome from the processor itself. There are other emulators out there. Dolphin, has been around forever, but I've read that it's not the best emulator anymore. But that's something to consider if you're using that emulator. There are ones you can buy, but I don't want to buy them.